Hello, hello. Hi everyone, welcome to part 3 of the Amazon Lex series. This is the project where we build a banker bot, which is an imaginary banking chatbot to help users check balances and transfer funds. It's a 5 project series, and we've done 1 and 2 so far, where we've learned how to define intents, customize responses, set up custom slots, and test the bots. If you're joining new, don't worry, we'll start from scratch, all good. Check out the link in the description for the project guide, and you can follow along with me. If you're watching live right now, say hi. I'd love to know where you're joining from, and if you did 1 and 2 with me, or if you're ready to do all 3 in one go today. Let me know. On my screen right now, you can see that there is the project guide on one side and the AWS console. So for this project, you are going to need a AWS account, and if you have the guide open, you can create one right now. If you need to create one right now, you can just pause the video and resume back when you're ready to join. We've got part 1 and part 2 as well. And it's a 5-project series. So this is project 3. Are you ready? Who's excited? Who's here? Say hi. All right, so let's get started. Today we are on project 3, and we're going to use Amazon Lambda to return a random bank balance. That is, so far in project 1 and 2, we created a bot that checks for the user's intent, whether they want to check the balance of a savings, checking, or credit account. And in this project, we're going to return a bank balance. It won't be a correct one, it'll be a random number, but that's what we're doing in this project. So if you want to know how to do, get all the way through a complete banker bot, stay tuned for project 4 and 5. All right, so we have in this next work projects, as many of you already know, we can go step by step, or we can do with a little bit of guidance. So today we're going all in, step by step, break it down. For the first 2 pieces, for the first 2 parts, we're gonna fly by very quickly. And just to remind you, always when working on AWS, just remember to delete the services every day. You could get charged. So it's a good practice to just delete the resources by the end of the day, even if you don't finish the project. And if you ever get stuck, check out the community. Our community is so wonderful in answering the questions really quickly. And we've seen all kinds of errors come up. So if you run into an error anytime in this project, just click here and ask a question, and I'm sure you'll find an answer, and we'll help you out with that. All right. Okay, so before we start, what are we here to do? Well, we are going to, in this project, I will demonstrate how to build a Lex chatbot with welcome. Oh, okay. Let's keep it simple. I will demonstrate how to build a Lex chatbot, and I'm doing this project to learn practical, hands-on skills on using AWS to build a chatbot that fits my needs. How about that? If you're new to Nextwork projects, whatever you enter into these questions, you'll get a nice documentation at the end. So it's a really nice little thing that you get at the end of the projects. It's a nice little something to showcase what you've done today, you know? Okay. We're gonna start the project with a quiz. Shall we quiz ourselves? So this is really good because it captures a little bit of the part 1 and part 2. So let's quiz ourselves. Ready? What is the primary purpose of using code hooks in an Amazon Lex chatbot? Wow, okay. This one is something that we're going to learn in this project. So it's okay if you don't get that right. If there's anyone watching, feel free to answer, put in those answers, and we've got 6 questions here, okay? All right, so what is the primary purpose of using code hooks? We can try by elimination. A, is it to manage user sessions? B, recognizing user intents. C, connecting Lambda functions for complex tasks. Or D, voice interactions. Don't think it's for voice. We talked about user intents in part 1 and part 2, and code hooks did not come up. Managing user sessions, maybe, but I'm seeing code hooks and I see functions and I'm thinking, what if it's C? No, I see you asked, you want to, let's do B. It's just for you. Let's try B. Okay, B is not it. Code hooks are for custom actions. And not basic intent recognition. So it is connecting, code hooks are for connecting Lambda functions for complex tasks. Totally fine if you did not get this right. That's what this project is all about anyway. All right. Okay, this one is from parts 1 and 2. In Amazon Lex, what does an intent represent? A connection to Lambda function. B, a piece of information needed to fulfill an action. C, a pointer to a specific version of a bot. D, an action that the user wants to perform. Any guesses? What could the intent be? I mean, if you want to go by process of elimination or deduction, intent is like an intention. What do you want to accomplish in that? So think of it as the action that you want the bot to do. So it's the action that the user wants to perform. Yay. D, an intent represents what the user wants to do, like checking a balance. Hello, Shy Sinister. Let's try question 3. In Amazon Lex, what are used to gather specific pieces of information from the user to fulfill an intent? I love the guesses. Keep them coming. In Amazon Lex, what are used to gather specific pieces of information from the user to fulfill an intent? Is it A, slots, B, utterances, D, intents, or C, intents, or D, prompts? I'm sure you know this. I'm going to give a couple of seconds to let you give me all those answers. Oh, we have C and we have A. Okay, which one should we try? C or A? So the question is either slots or intents. These are specific pieces of information that we want to gather from the user. Oh, Nell says A. Oh, I think maybe there's a bit of a lag, so that could be it. Let's do A and see what the answer is. A is correct. Well done, Nell. It's correct because slots are used to gather specific pieces of information that are needed to fulfill an intent. So, kind of close. Okay, next question. Ready? Which intent is triggered when an Amazon Lex chatbot doesn't understand the user's request? Which intent is triggered when an Amazon Lex chatbot doesn't understand the user's request? Is it A, welcome intent? B, catch all intent? C, fallback intent? Or D, check balance intent? Okay, let's go through this. If you don't know, it's totally fine. A sounds like a welcome intent, something that you would get like to welcome the user. So let's put that away. B, catch-all intent, not, could be. Sounds like it's like a catch-all, like whatever errors comes through, it'll catch it. C, fallback intent, that's something that we covered in parts 1 and 2, hint, hint. And D, check balance. Well, we're not checking any balance with this if Amazon Lex doesn't understand the user's request, right? So how about we go with C? Let's do it. All right. C is correct. Fallback intent is triggered when the chatbot doesn't understand the user's inputs. Great. Ready for question 5? Which AWS service allows you to run code without managing service, making it suitable for generating bank balances in the project? Ooh, spicy. This is also related to this project, so no worries. That's a hint right there, by the way, but no worries if that's a tough one. Is it A, Amazon Lex? Well, yeah, we're working on Amazon Lex to create chatbots. B, CloudWatch. C, IAM. Or D, AWS Lambda. Okay, I'm getting some answers here. Great. We want to go with D? Okay, let's do D. D sounds about, I would say D too. Let's see. D is correct. D is correct. AWS Lambda, which is the service we're using in this project, completely new in this part, it allows you to run code without managing servers, and it's ideal for backend processing. So super easy to use and don't have to do too much, no frills for running code. Question 6, are you ready? This is it. Okay, in Amazon Lex, what is used as a pointer to a specific version of your bot, simplifying updates and connections with other AWS services? What is used as a pointer to a specific version of your bot, simplifying updates and connections with other AWS services? Also very relevant to this part of the project. Part 3, is it A, utterances? We covered utterances in parts 1 and 2. B, aliases. Kind of new if you're on part 3. C, slots, covered this. D, intents, we've covered this. So what do you think? Aliases sounds about right too, right? Aliases are pointers to specific bot versions. And so when you've got code and you want to link it to a specific bot, you need aliases. But no worries, we are going to cover all of that today. Okay, we completed the quiz. Almost made it, that's okay. Pretty good for a pre-project quiz, don't you think? Thanks for all the answers, guys. Tell me where you're joining from too. Which time zone are you in? Okay, so let's set up the new chatbot. In this project, our goal is to get BankerBot to check users' bank balance account and return a random bank balance. Again, the key here is a random bank balance. But we are returning an answer to our users. So we will be creating a new bot from scratch. We're going to set up the welcome intent, set up a fallback intent, customize it, and set up the check balance. And these are all the things that we've done in parts 1 and 2. So if you're joining completely new, totally fine. We'll do this together. So let's see. So what are we doing in this step? In this step, I will be creating a new bot from scratch and set up a welcome intent, a fallback intent, and a check balance intent to greet the users, provide a customized error message when the bot, this is a long sentence, when the bot doesn't understand the user, and provide options of selecting this is a long sentence, isn't it? This is why I can totally see why it's so useful to go back and be able to modify the answers. To provide options of selecting account types. Okay. Awesome. So we are going to redo steps 1 and 2 of the Lex series. In this case, yes, we've done, have you completed part 1 and 2? Yes, I've done part 1 and 2, but I deleted my bot. So this is perfect. If you're joining right after 1 and 2, just keep going. And if not, head over to part 1 and 2, and we'll do that here. We'll create all of it together. So let's get started. Okay, so we log into AWS, which I have right here. And so we first navigate to Amazon Lex. Okay, so this is the AWS console. And I'm going to Amazon Lex, and I'm just going to Lex here. There's a step in here that asks check your URL in your web browser. And that's just to make sure that you're on version 2. If you see V1, then just make sure that you go to the V2 console. We want to use this on the version 2 console. Okay, so we are on version 2, all good. We're going to create a bot. And we're going to create a blank bot. Again, if you cannot see anything, go to next to a community, ask your question, put your screenshot, and we will help you. Here, we're gonna put the bot name, Banker Bot. Cool little nifty tool with the next projects is that you can just copy these things and saves you some time from typing. So we are creating a Banker Bot to help customers check their balance and make transfers. We want to create a role with basic Amazon Lex permissions. And this is important because we are going to be using Lambda in this project. So make sure that you select this one. For the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, we are going to select no, and we're going to select 5 minutes as the default. Now, all of these are explained in great detail in parts 1 and 2, part 1 specifically. So feel free to go through that for the step-by-step, all the detailed descriptions and explanations. But we're going to keep going. Everything looks right, yes? Okay, so we're going to select next. Okay. Here we select English and we're going to choose Danielle. Who's your favorite?
Hello, my name is Danielle.
Do you have a favorite
Let
voice?
me know how I can assist you.
And we're going to choose 0.4 in the intent classification confidence score. Do you remember what that is? We've talked about it a little bit in parts 1 and 2. Basically, it just wants, we want to make sure that the chatbot is at least 40% confident, so we can do some kind of variation, and as long as it's 40% sure, it'll say, okay, I understand. And you can always change it depending on what you want it to do. So here we've selected done, and now we're going to set up welcome intent. I'm flying by these because I'm assuming that you've done parts 1 and 2. I hope that's all right. The videos are already on YouTube, so you can feel free to check it out. We're going to create a welcome intent, and we're going to add sample utterances. All right, so we're gonna go to the plain text because it's super easy to just copy all the utterances in one go and enter it into there. And you can always just check it out, and it comes up as different utterances. There's 4 sample utterances, right? And then we are going all the way down to closing response. Expand the arrow, and here we want to actually greet the user, and with that it'll end this particular intent, right? So we're going to save this intent as it is, and we will build it. Building takes time, so while we wait for that, what time zones are you joining from? Null, shy, I see you. Building it. So here, once we build it, we can test it out just to make sure everything is looking right. Sometimes it's so easy to miss a step or, not configure something. So I always like to, no matter how confident I am, I like to just test it a little bit. And if you remember, some of this will work, help me will work, because it's 40% sure. in comparison to the sample utterances, like I need help, so help me. Sounds about right. And hiya, how are you? Do you know which one of these will not work? Which one of these is gonna give an error? Is hiya gonna work? That worked. How are you? Yeah, no. BankerBot didn't like that. What about good morning? What do you think? 40% sure? No. Said no. I don't know what you're saying. And it gives this random error message that doesn't really make sense. So we want to go customize that. So we'll go and check out the fallback intent in your left-hand navigation panel. And here we want to, okay, here we've got our fallback intent. And we are going to give it some nice responses that actually make sense, like things like, sorry, I'm having trouble understanding. Can you describe what you'd like to do in a few words? I can help you find your account balance, transfer funds, and make a payment. Once you add that, we can also add variations, which we'll do here. You can always come up with different things. These are some of the sample ones that we've suggested. You can always get creative. You can put one that you like. Oops, I didn't get that. Can you tell me if you'd like me to find your account balance, transfer funds, or make a payment? Yeah? Okay. And once we add as many variations as we want, we're going to do these two variations. I'll save the intent and hit build. Build is a great time to stretch and make sure that you're looking away from the screen for a little bit. Let's see who's here. Oh, the Manizor. I love the name. Joining from West Africa. Welcome. So glad to have you here. Did you do parts 1 and 2, or are you starting from scratch with us today? Love to know. All right, so it's built now, and we're going to test it. Okay, just to make sure everything is going okay, and you can always look at the screenshot to just confirm that all's well. Hi. What's good? Okay, so that it didn't understand what's good. Does it understand heya? Didn't understand. But note the variation. What's for lunch? Oh, if you want to see all your variations, it might take a couple of... Oh, look at that. You came up within 40%. Interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. Yeah, okay. All right, so feel free to play around with that. See what number you want to put. If 40% makes sense to you, if you want something a little higher. Yeah, have fun with LexBot. Such a fun project and such a fun service. Okay, now we're going to create the account type. So we're going to go back and we're going to go to slot types. So we've created a banker bot using Amazon Lex, and we've created the welcome intent and the fallback intent, and now we're going to create the account type custom slot. Here, what we are going to do is add a slot, and we're going to select add blank slot types. We'll enter the account type as the name of the slot and choose add. This will bring up a large slot types editor panel. Ooh. In the slot value resolution here, we want to select restrict to slot values. And this basically allows Amazon Lex to make sure that it is looking for specific values. And so we're limiting it to specific slots. All right, so now that we've restricted it, we have to tell what the slots are. And we're gonna put checking, because users should be able to check. Oh, I'm gonna make this a little bigger. Checking, let me make this smaller. Y'all can still see, I hope. Okay. So checking, and I'm gonna add the value. Savings, add value. And credit, but for credit we want specific options, like they could say credit card, maybe Visa, MasterCard, Amex, American Express, or anything else that you think might be necessary for this. And once we do that, we add value. Everything looks right? I think it does. And then we go and save the slot. Okay? Now that the slot is saved, we go back to the check balance intent, which is right here under intents. Oh. Yeah. Oh, we need to create the check balance intent. Look at me. And then use the nice little nifty tool to just copy and paste. And we add the check balance. So now we have a new intent, and we're going to add a description, which basically explains and reminds us what this intent is for. And this intent is to check the balance in the specified account type. And we've defined account types as checking, savings, and credit. So this intent will now connect to the account type. Hold on with me. So we scroll down to the sample utterances. These are things that the user can say that will indicate that the user wants to check the balance. So you can add more, you can add as many as you want, whatever thing you think that users might say in order to check the balance. And take a look at what these things mean too. Play around with it. And so now we're going to just, so if you look at the preview, you can see the different utterances. In plain text, it's very easy to enter all of it with little blocks of variables as well. So allowing for users to say savings or checking, and then the code will automatically understand that, I need to check the account type, and that I need to check the slot value account type and see if it is one of those pieces in there. So once that is done, we save the intent. Oh, sorry. Doesn't hurt to save though. Okay, so we scroll down and we look at the slots pane and we add a slot. And here we're going to select account type. And now to define which slot type, we're gonna find one of these because we already created it. If you don't see this, it's probably because you missed that step. So because we already created before creating this intent, the slot is already there. So now that we add it, we can add a prompt that asks, for which account would you like your balance? Okay, and then here We're going to say add. Everything looks okay. We're going to add one more slot, and we're going to ask for date of birth because, we need to verify if this user is really who they say they are and they have access to their account, right? But we don't need a custom slot for that. We can use Amazon date because we want it in that date format. And so that makes it a little easier. And we add the prompt for verification purposes. What is your date of birth? Amazing. And once you do that, select add and then save intent. And now we are going to select build. And again, it'll take a couple of seconds. So I'm just going to quickly check who else is here. Manizor. You are starting from scratch. Oh my goodness. So excited to have you here. Welcome. I'm so sorry you have no idea what's happening. I can be a little more descriptive if that's helpful for you. You do embedded systems work and have been interested in DevOps and cloud computing for some reason. Well, you're in the right place. Check out Next Work projects. The link to this project is in the description. So click on that and you can join and follow along with me. Might be more helpful. And just in case you don't see the project in the description, let me make it a little easier for you and add it to the chat. How about that? Okay. Amazing. So now we're going to test it because we just built the chatbot, right? Okay, let's do this. So what do we want to test? We're going to say, I'm going to do the whole thing like, hey. Okay, and it greets me, and I'm going to say, I want to check my balance, please. For which account would you like your balance? And let's say checking. See, for verification purposes, what is your date of birth? And I'm going to say born on, yep, everything looks good. So we have the intent check balance is fulfilled. And just to confirm that we have everything that we need, it does save. It's filled the slot, account type with checking, which is what we entered. And the date of birth is exactly what we gave. So now chatbot knows that it knows me and what I'm trying to do. So everything looks good. And now I'm just going to ask, hey, BankerBot, tell me what's the balance in my savings account. So again, now it knows it's looking for savings. And so you can see here, I'm pointing to the screen as if you can see from what I'm pointing at. You can see that account type is savings because we have now created a new request. What is the balance in my savings account? So again, BankerBot asks, what is your date of birth? And I'm going to put the same thing. And it'll say intent fulfilled. Okay, so this is what we had done up till now. And so today we're going to define the Lambda function that will get the user's balance. Exciting. And for that, we have to connect the Lambda function with our Lex chatbot, and we'll connect the check balance intent with the Lambda function. So a lot of pieces here, and it's getting more exciting, don't you think? Okay, so now we've created BankerBot that grabs the user's account type and birthday, and we're going to actually give something of value back to the user. So Lex doesn't automatically know what to do, so we have to obviously give it the life, the brain to figure out what it needs to do to get the balance. So here we need to put a little bit of code to to be able to tell Lex and our chatbot exactly what it needs to do to give that kind of information, to give that balance. And so that's what we need Lambda for. And Lambda is a nice high-level interface that allows us to enter a couple of things like a code, but it really does a lot of work in the background. All right, so in this step, we are going to use AWS Lambda to generate a random bank balance number. So in this step, I will connect AWS Lex, Lambda to my chatbot banker bot, because I would like to provide a random bank balance to the user. Okay. Awesome. All right. Oh, Manizor, thanks for joining. Really appreciate you joining so late at night. Bye. Okay. So a little bit more about Lambda. It is a service that lets you run code, and you don't need to manage any computers or servers. Lambda will take care of that for you. It will only use the code when needed, and it'll scale. So it's very nice to be able to use Lambda in our projects, in our cloud computing projects. So we're going to go to Lambda. Okay. And, I should have deleted this. Oops. Always delete your services by the end of the day. And it's a good practice to have. Do not do what I do what as I say, okay? So we're going to create a function, author from scratch, okay? And we are going to give a function name, banking bot English. So you can put any language, but we're going to do English for this project. And we're going to select Python because our code is in Python. Make sure that you select 3.12 or higher, depending on what's available. For the architecture, x86 works just fine. And with that, everything looks okay. We will create the function. Amazing. Okay. It's taking a little bit of time. Awesome. Now we have a function called banking bot, and we need to add a little bit of code here. Luckily, we've provided Python code that you can download and select the code and paste it in this editor. You just want to select all of this and paste it here. So replace complete any placeholder code, and we want to use exactly this code. This code file has given us a quick Python script that helps the chatbot give quick answers about the balances. So when someone asks for the account balance, this Lambda function will run the code and pick a random number as an answer for the amount remaining in the bank account. Okay, so we've downloaded the code and we've pasted it, and we are now going to deploy the code. Amazing. That's done. And let's take a screenshot of the code that we've just deployed. And I'm going to add it. Should go in here, I think. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Next question. What is AWS Lambda? Ooh, it's actually testing, if you've paid attention, which is really cool, because sometimes we just go through all the steps and we don't really think what we've done. And this is just a nice way to stop and remember what we did. So what is AWS Lambda? Lambda is an AWS service that allows us to run code in the backend without having to provision servers. Okay, awesome. What does your AWS Lambda function do? In this project, I created a Lambda function to generate and return a random bank balance when a user asks. Okay, awesome, and that's done. Okay, so now we connect the AWS Lambda with Amazon Lex, which is our bot, right? We have the Lambda function ready to go, but we haven't connected it to our bot specifically. So we need Lex and Lambda to work together. And that is what we're going to do today. We are in this step. In this step, I will connect the Lambda function to my banker bot so that a random account balance can be provided when a user asks my banker bot for the balance. Okay. All right, done. Okay. Are y'all with me so far? Okay, so we're going to go back to the Lex, Amazon Lex, and I don't know if you know this, but you can star this and make it to your favorites, and that will allow you to click whatever service you frequently use. So it's kind of super convenient. So we're now in the Lex console. We go into banker bot, and we're going to choose aliases. Right. On the left-hand menu, we chose the aliases. And why are we using aliases? Alias is like, think of it like a pointer, so it points to a specific version of your bot. Now that we have Lex and we've got Lambda, we want the connection to happen, so we need a way to say, hey, look at this particular bot for the code, or making that connection is basically what you need aliases for. So when you create, when you go into the alias tab or the alias console, you will automatically see the test bot alias, and it's basically the default version of the bot that's used for testing and for development. So Now that we have that, we're going to select English. And when you select English, you get a prompt for the source, and it's a Lambda function. So it's optional, but we want to use the Lambda function, and we're going to select Banking Bot English, which is what we had configured. And we're going to use the latest. And what latest basically does is that it means that you're going to use the most up-to-date version of the Lambda function, which means that if you change bits and pieces of the Lambda function, it'll automatically be connected because of this latest version. So it's kind of a time saver. Okay, so we're gonna take a screenshot of this, the Lambda function panel. And put it in there. Awesome. What is an alias? An alias is a pointer. Is a pointer to a version of a bot. Testbot alias is the default alias used to test your Lex bot before deployment. How did you connect your bot with Lambda using testbot aliases? So to connect Lambda with my banker bot, I visited my bot's test alias, and under the settings and under the language settings, I was able to select the Lambda function I created. Awesome. Okay, so now we're gonna hit save. And wow, we're on step 4. Look at that. Almost done. Okay, so in this step, up to now, we've connected Lambda function with BankerBot, and we haven't exactly connected the intent, like at which intent is the Lambda function to be invoked, right? So to make that connection, we need to connect check balance intent with the Lambda function, right? So in this step, we are going to connect. I will connect my Lambda function with to the check balance intent, because I want the banker bot to, or I want the Lambda function to be invoked in the check balance intent and provide a bank balance when the user asks. Cool. Done. Okay, so now we navigate to the check balance intent. Where is the check balance intent? So we go to the intents, And we've got 3 intents here. So we select check balance intent, and we go all the way down to fulfillment. So we have nothing here. So when the user asks for the balance in my savings account, we don't give anything, right? The Lex Banker bot has nothing. So this is where we're going to make that connection and complete that intent. So that's what the fulfillment piece means. And when the user provides the account that they want to check and their birthday for verification, the bot would have all the information to then use the Lambda function to get the account balance, right? So we're going to go to open this up. Right, so we're at the check balance intent, and we want to go to, fulfillment. Okay, this is where we actually fulfill the intent, right? And we're gonna expand the on fulfillment, on successful fulfillment bubble, and we'll select advanced options. So what happens when you select advanced fulfillment options? You get these options. And under fulfillment Lambda code hook, we're going to check the box that says use a Lambda function for fulfillment. And we're just going to take a quick screenshot of this so that we can upload it, and it'll be there in the documentation. Looking very nice. Okay. I'm going to do it again. Take this piece and add it to here. Awesome. And then, so this was a code hook. Now, what is a code hook? The code hooks help you connect your chatbot to custom Lambda functions. And so they're used to handle more complex actions, and it basically allows you to check data from the database or make decisions, things like that. So making that connection between the intent and the function, Lambda function, okay? Now we're going to choose update options. Oh my goodness. So close. We're going to save intent, and we're going to build. Whoa. It's exciting. Super, super exciting. Let's see. Hi, Lakshya. Thanks for joining. We are creating a banker bot, which is a bot that gives us balances, gives our users their account balance from this imaginary bank. And that's what we're creating using Amazon Lex. Thank you for joining. What brings you here, and where are you joining from, Lakshya? Okay, so now we've built it. Are you ready to test it? Okay. We're going to test, and we're going to ask for balance of any of the accounts. Ready? Gosh, I'm nervous. Okay, let's see. Let's say check my balance. And BankerBot says, for which account would you like your balance? Well, I'm going to say my checking account, please. Okay, and it's asking for my date of birth, and I'm going to put this date, and look at that. How exciting is it? It gave me a balance. Clearly it's a random number, but it gave a number. How cool is that? Let's try it again. Savings. Okay, and so it asked me which year, when I'm born, and oh, I suddenly have less money. Oh no, the other one was checking. But to show you that this is a random number, I'm going to do the same inputs again. Oh, for which account would you like it? Savings, please. Okay, and this is the date of my birthday. Oh no, I suddenly lost a lot of money. Man, I had $101 and now I only have $28. Anyways, that's a random number that was generated, and we're going to take a screenshot of this, make it look nice and pretty. How exciting. How exciting. Okay. We're getting closer to the end of the series. We're on project 3 now, part 3. And soon it'll be all fancy when it's all over. Okay, so when will your chat bot return a bank balance? I've set up my chatbot to trigger Lambda and return a random dollar figure when the user provides their account type and their date of birth for verification. What is a code hook? Code hook is a way of connecting Lex to the back-end logic during conversations. Okay. Why did you use a code hook? So even though I had already connected my Lambda function with my chatbot alias, I had to use code hook I'm going to just delete that, so that the check balance intent uses the Lambda function. So that specifically the check balance intent uses the Lambda function. And where in your chatbot did you configure a code hook? I could find the code hooks at the fulfillment section of check balance. Yay! And with that, I'm done with this question. Okay. Oh, there's more. We're not done yet. We've got the secret mission, and we're going to unlock the secret mission. What are we going to do in this secret mission? In this secret mission, we will be editing the Lambda function and testing the banker bot. And once you complete all the answers in this secret mission, you can add that to your project documentation. So let's jump right in. This is for pro members, so you do need a pro subscription to unlock this project, to unlock this part of this project. Otherwise, the project is completely free. What are we doing in this secret mission? In this secret mission, as an extension for this project, I'm about to edit my Lambda function, or my Lambda the code in my Lambda function. And test it. Okay, so how are we going to do this now? We head back to AWS Lambda, and we didn't favorite that. So let's look at Lambda here. And I'm going to put a star so that I can come back very quickly. And in the functions page, we're going to click banking bot, scroll down to the code source panel, and we're going to take a deeper dive and a closer look into our Lambda function. Why does it work? Why does it actually return a bank balance? That to a random one, to Amazon Lex. So if you look through, each piece is broken down. So we do have a random number generator, which it's a predefined function that we're defining that returns a random number between 1,000 and 50,000, and it returns in a decimal format. So this basically is what gives us the random numbers that we find. And with each function, you get a little piece of what we're trying to do. So these are the big ones. This is the one where we're checking the balance. And here's the follow-up on checking the balance. And so we're going to go and take a closer look at it. The check balance will look at the slots. It will call the random number, generate a random number, and it will combine the random number and the account type and actually give a response. Right here. So it'll say, thank you, the balance on your account is account whatever you've entered, which is like checking, savings, or credit, and it will give you a balance, which is coming from the random number that we are generating, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to customize the functions, and we're going to make it a little fun. So we're going to take this existing text here, and we are going to replace that with an updated text message that is a little more fun. So I'm going to copy the code, and instead of this line here, I'm going to paste it. And this is these 3 lines are what we just added. And we're going to, instead of your name, I'm going to put my name. And I'm going to say it's the Bank of Nextwork, or Bank of Maya, I guess. And now we have a formatted text that gives us the account and has the little fun description and balance. You see that? So it does look like this. Make sure that you replace your name with your name in the code snippet so that it actually shows up as your name. And we're going to take a screenshot. I'm going to hide the minimap, okay? And I'm going to take a screenshot of this, make it a little bigger so that I can see the whole line. Here. I like making it look nice. This is the piece that I added. I'm just going to take a picture of this. Now remember, this is your documentation. You can always add whatever screenshot you want. It'll come out very nicely in the end, and make sure that the words are clear. If you need to zoom in, you can do that. Okay, so what changes did you make to your Python code? To level up the connection between Lambda and Lex, I added random descriptions. so that the message is fun and unique. Okay, so we've now added my top secret digital vault, your personal treasure box, Bank of Maya, Bank of Network. You can add whatever you want. And now we're going to deploy. And let's see how this looks, shall we? So we go to the Lex, which is right here. And we're going to go to the check balance intent. Okay? And we're going to test it out. We don't have to build it because we've chosen the latest option. And we are going to go straight into it. No hello or anything. Check my savings account. Okay, for verification purposes, just enter a date of birth. And it gives a random number, but look at that. It says your savings account balance tucked away in the Bank of Maya is currently 259. And depending on what you add as your fun description values, you'll get different and creative responses. So have a little fun with that. We can customize it even more. So we'll go back to the Lambda function. And I should favorite this so that it's right there. And we're going to go to banking bot. And we see the code. And now we're going to add even more descriptions. So that is adding a new description here. And to add that, we can add as many as we want by just adding a comma and making sure whatever description we enter is within quotes. Bank of next work. Or, yeah. Add another, we can add another, I don't know, Bank of the I don't know. I'm so not creative. Another co-location. I'd love to see your answers though. Okay. Deploy. And we'll go and test it in the Lex console. Go back to Banker Bot, the check balance intent, test it out, and let's say savings balance. I'm getting lazier and lazier, look at that. Okay, and I'm going to give it a year, okay. So now it says, oh, tucked away in another cool location. Let's try again. Savings account. And, oh, it gave another answer. So you see how you can put as many descriptions as you want, and you can get a little creative with the code and the responses, and just have a lot of fun with the Lex Chatbot. Okay, so now we have a question to answer. What does your user see when they ask for their bank balance? Now, the message my users see when they ask for a bank balance is, and I'm going to put this one. Oh, it says is, I can customize this even further by editing the code or the Lambda function, and add more creative descriptions. All right, and with that, we're done. Oh my goodness, we just completed the project and we've set up our own chatbot using Amazon Lex, and we connected it with Lambda. How cool is that? I'm so excited. Okay, what is Amazon Lex and why is it useful? Um, Amazon Lex is uh, a, AWS service. Is an AWS service, and it is useful because it allows us to create and customize a, a bot for our needs. How did you use Amazon Lex in today's project? In today's project, I used Amazon Lex to create a banker bot that provides a random bank balance to the user when asked. Okay? One thing you didn't expect in this project. One thing I didn't expect in this project is how easy it is to create and customize a bot. And make it as fun and as boring as I would like it to be. So I could have a very serious banker bot, depending on how I give the answers. Like I would like. Okay. How much time did this project take you? I'd say it took us about 40 minutes. About 40 minutes or 45 minutes, including doing this documentation. Okay. And why did you do this project today? What did this project meet your goals? What would make your learning experience with Nextwork even better? We love to see these answers. I chose to do this project today because I like learning about how I can use AI tools. Yeah. Something that would make learning with Nextwork even better is more projects, please. Feel free to be as creative as you want. We love the feedback. And oh my goodness, we are done. Now, before we go, this is super important, we have to delete our resources, okay? So if you don't delete resources, you could get charged, depending on the service, depending on where you are. So it's very important to delete it and just make it a practice. If you're going to do the next project, the next part 4, you can go straight into it right here. If not, just delete it today and we can recreate it again when we do part 4. So if you can, try and delete all the resources that we created today, which is the banker bot, the Lambda function, and the Lambda function's log file. So this is a little tricky, you may not know, and we'll do it together. Ready? So we'll go and delete banker bot. So that is in Amazon Lex. We see our banker bot, select it, actions, delete, and we delete it. Aw, goodbye banker bot. Poof, it's gone. Okay, and now we're going to delete our Lambda function. So we're going to go to Lambda, We've got our Lambda function there, and select actions and delete. To delete, make sure you type it. It's just a extra precautionary thing that AWS does, which is really good. Makes you sure that you want to delete. And last, we have to go and delete the Lambda function logs. Now, where are the function logs? These are all found in the CloudWatch. So that's another AWS service that allows us to monitor all the services. So we're going to CloudWatch. And we will go to log groups. And here we find banking bot. So we're going to select this, and we're going to select action, and we're going to delete the log groups. And poof, that's gone too. And with that, we are done deleting all of it. Oh my goodness. Shane, I love the energy. Woohoo! Good job, everybody. That's right. Good job. Okay, are we ready for the quiz? We're gonna get 5 on 5 this time. Which intent is triggered when an Amazon Lex chatbot doesn't understand the user's request? Easy. Is it the welcome intent? No. Fallback intent? I think so. Catch-all intent? No. Check balance? No. Yay. B is correct. Fallback intent is triggered when the chatbot doesn't understand the user's input. Next question. In Amazon Lex, what are used to gather specific pieces of information from the user to fulfill an intent? Is it intents, utterances, prompts, or slots? I'm going to say slots. And yes, slots are used to gather specific pieces of information used to fulfill an intent. So in this project, what we did, we used a slot to create account type, and we got checking, savings, and credit, right? So those were slots. Which AWS service allows you to run code without managing servers, making it suitable for generating bank balance in the project? So it's not IAM, not Amazon Lex. It is AWS Lambda. CloudWatch was for the logs, right? For monitoring the service. So we want to select Lambda. Lambda allows you to run code without managing servers, ideal for backend processing. Whew, 3 down, 3 more to go. Okay, in Amazon Lex, what does an intent represent? An intent, is it an action what the user wants to perform, a pointer to a specific version of a bot, a piece of information needed to fulfill an action, or D, a connection to a Lambda function? We're going to go with A. It's the intent, the intention, the action that we want, that the user wants to perform, like checking a balance. Okay. In Amazon Lex, what is used as a pointer to a specific version of your bot, simplifying updates and connections with other AWS services? It is aliases, not intents, not utterances, and not slots. Whew. And last question. What is the primary purpose of using code hooks in an Amazon Lex chatbot? Is it to recognize user intents? Is it to connect Lambda functions for complex tasks? Is it to manage user sessions? Or is it to manage voice interactions? So easy, don't you think so? It's B. Let's go for this. Connecting to Lambda functions for complex tasks. Woo, amazing. And with that, we're done with the quiz. 6 on 6. How was that? Did you all get all the answers right too? I hope you had a lot of fun doing this project. I love this series. It's so much fun. And if you're completely new to Nextwork projects, you should know that you get this documentation done when you complete the project, which you can then share and broadcast to everyone you know, whoever you want to broadcast it to, and tell them that you've done this project. So if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, you will see the mission accomplished button here, which will give you a PDF of your documentation, and it's taking a little time to download that. Once you do, you can download it. If you have a pro account, you can add it in different formats. You can generate a social media post, and you can really have fun with it. So here I'm going to save it as a PDF. Thank you all for joining, you guys. So awesome to have you all here. It always makes the live demo so much more fun. And the PDF is ready. Let me see if I can open it. Look at that. All the screenshots that we added together, all the answers, everything is included in the documentation, and it looks really nice. If you want to put it on your LinkedIn, share it. You can also share it with the Nextwork community. And if you're not familiar with that, Nextwork community is a nice place to ask any questions that you have and add all the celebrations that you want. You can see all your other Nextwork fellow mates putting in their documentation and really celebrating all the fun things that they accomplish. Or you can put it in social media, add it to your LinkedIn, post it as is, or upload the document, upload a image or screenshot of it, or the PDF, as you wish. You can absolutely get creative, showcase those skills, and really have fun with the project. I hope you all enjoyed the project as much as I did. Had a lovely time going through this project, and I can't wait to go through 4 and 5 with you, so stay tuned. We've got all kinds of fun things coming up. Just to show you again, this is the Lex series, and we go through 5 projects to build a banking chatbot with Amazon Lex. Thank you all for staying with me today, and hope I'll see you next week for part 4. See you all. Bye-bye.